Do you have any wish list that you want to complete?
No, I'm just super open to whatever comes my way.
There's been a stupendous character arc for you in a sense. I mean, two times.
You don't think there was twists and turns? I objected a wedding.
And also, I think you're probably the only superstar to main event in NXT, Raw, SmackDown in a single week in
You
itself.
did that.
Yeah, only superstar in WWE history to ever main event.
They are the two most hated people in WWE universe, maybe pro wrestling in general. But behind the characters of Liv Morgan and Dominik Mysterio, there's Gianna Dadio and Dominic Gutierrez. So let's try and find out, who these people really are. And there's a saying that a lot of things that you portray, a bit of it is always in you. Let's see. Let's try and find out. So Liv and Dominic, welcome to CNN News 18. It's an absolute pleasure to have you guys with us.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
So first of all, to start off with, you've been in India. I'm assuming this is the first time in India.
First
First time. So how has been the experience for you?
I got in very late last night, and this is kind of my first time being out. Dominic had quite a morning without me, but I haven't really got to see much, so I'm just really excited to kind of just immerse myself and learn and try some things. So I guess I'll have a better answer later on in the day, but I haven't really been able.
Do you have any wish list that you want to complete?
No, I'm just super open to whatever comes my way.
Great. And for you?
Like she said, we got in pretty late, and I did have an early start without her this morning. I did some more media, and I tried actually some chicken nuggets. They brought me some chicken nuggets.
Is that so sweet? They brought him chicken nuggets.
They're spicy nuggets, and they're actually really good.
Really spicy?
No, not too spicy. I could manage.
You could manage, right? For you, as a duo, the heat that you guys are getting is absolutely insane. I just want to start from there. When this entire storyline was being pitched to you guys, or when it was being formulated, do you think it will really kick off the way it has? What were your thoughts initially and the reaction to it right now?
I didn't think she'd like me, so I don't know. Just go with that.
Yeah.
I didn't know what would come of it, but here we are. Like you said, the most hated in WWE, the hottest, most iconic, most dominant couple of all time.
Worked out somehow.
Worked out somehow. But then again, at the start, when this was pitched to you guys, what were the initial thoughts in a way that, will it work out? What were the apprehensions, so to speak, if you had, or you were like, you know what, this is really interesting, let's go run with it?
Yeah, I was like, we're going to kill it.
Yeah, it was absolutely
I was like, let's go, we're going to kill it.
That's true, that's right. Dom, before we started, I spoke to you, and I told you I spoke to you a couple of years back. That was the time your first heel turn, so to speak, when you were coming really out of your father's shadow.
Short hair, no mustache, probably.
Absolutely, yeah. Patchy stuff here and
What?
there. I'd asked you, but is this the time where you are actually coming out of the shadows with your father? 3 years on from that conversation, it's pretty much done. I mean, you're your own man now in that sense. I just want to take you back to that journey, and even before that, because you were coming in, there was a lot of expectations. You knew the industry itself. Babyface, that run was good. A few good thing in a way during the COVID period also. A feud with Brock Lesnar, tag titles with your dad, and then turning heel, then Judgment Day, all of that happened. The evolution for you as a performer, because at that point in time, the confidence that you had probably, right now it's maxed up to 100 or 200, whatever it is. But that kind of an evolution, what were the influential points for you during that journey for you, the people that really help you out?
Man, I feel like there was so much that went into the whole journey. Starting off with my match with Seth, debuting at SummerSlam. My deadbeat dad, he didn't think I was ready. So when I was told about it, he said, you shouldn't do it. And I was like, I'm gonna do it, whether you like it or not. So it's like, I don't have a choice here. I was like, I'm gonna do this. So I think that was kind of like what kicked it off for me. And then there's just been so many people along the way, from, unfortunately, John Cena, the Usos, Roman Reigns, like being able to just sit there and tag. I had John Cena and Rey Mysterio as my tag team partners against, if not the greatest tag team of all time in the Usos, and then Roman Reigns. So like, I was wrestling them every week, and I hate to say things like this, but like, you know, you have some of the best to ever do it in that ring, then you got me. So it's like me being able to pick their brains as a young kid in this business, and then starting off with Seth too. So like I had so many, you know, just legends of the game that just being able to be by my side and help me out through it all. So like I was in good hands for sure.
Great. And after this, now you are at a position where you feel after 5 years or 8 years, whatever it is, you're satisfied with where you are, or it's like
no, I'm
it's
never
more
satisfied.
than what I expected, or
Yeah,
it's like there's more for you.
I'm never satisfied. You know, I never. I still feel like I'm new in this. You know, I have been around since 2005, but I've only been wrestling since 2020. You know,
Not a 20-year veteran?
Yeah, I'm technically a 20-year veteran, you know, but I've only been wrestling for about 4 years. So I feel like I'm just getting started. I feel like I haven't even reached half of my potential. So, yeah, like I said, we'll see what happens.
Great. And Liv, pretty much the same question to you. One thing I do want to admit to you in the sense, I was still am a very huge NXT fan. And during that period of 2016, 2018, or that, for me, NXT was the best product of WWE, not even Raw, SmackDown. And it was around that time you also made your debut. Mm-hmm. You came in as this Jersey girl. For me, at the very first thought of it was like, I've seen that character because it was kind of what Carmella was doing at that point in time. And I thought, it's not going to stick, the character. But again, so many years have passed, 8-9 years, without much of a major transformation or a twist or a turn into that character. There's been a stupendous character arc for you in a sense. I mean, 2 times.
You don't think there was twists and turns? I objected a wedding. there was so many twists and turns along this way.
That's true.
Forgot about the wedding.
Oh, I'll never forget about the wedding. I feel like there was a lot of twists and turns, but I do think that this is the best version of Liv Morgan so far.
The best version we are saying, but again, from an evolution point of view, what was the things where you looked at and said, you know, this is something that I'm getting at, or this is something that is clicking for me, and the people that were with you along that journey, the pivotal points there, NXT, then main roster, Riot Squad was also there, then there were a lot of tag matchups for you, then you went solo with that title, Money in the Bank, Ronda Rousey, then coming back injury. There's been a lot of those things. So pivotal points for you, people who were there in terms of guiding you, advising you, people you took advice from.
Yeah, I mean, I grew up a fan of WWE since I was 5 years old. It's the only thing I've ever wanted to do. And so I thought when I'd start, I'd be a natural because I've just loved it my whole entire life. But I was so terrible. I was so terrible for like a really, really, really long time. Like it was not natural to me. I had so much passion for it that I was training so hard. And even though I felt like I wasn't seeing results, I just like loved it so much. And I just wanted to give it everything. And so I'm really appreciative towards like all my coaches in NXT and all my bosses, because I feel like there was a lot of times when I maybe should have been fired. You know, I was very young, I was very immature, and I wasn't catching on as fast as I thought. And so I'm grateful that they just gave me the time to like learn and develop and grow. I could thank a million people along the way, because there's been a million people that have helped me and kind of curate the Liv Morgan that you see today. I'm not so sure on pivotal points along the way. I guess, you know, Money in the Bank, 2022, when I won Money in the Bank and I cashed in on Ronda Rousey, that was, I feel like a martyr for me of like, yes, of like I made my dream come true. Like that was the first moment where I felt like, holy shit, I've really somehow like I've finessed my way and I've done it. And so I feel like then, and then also my time off with injury last year, I feel like I really just got to spend some time to grow into my own and just learn about myself, and into the Liv Morgan Revenge Tour and now the Liv Morgan World Tour. I feel like those are the 3 kind of moments that really stick out in my mind. And the wedding, the objection.
Nice.
That got me. That wedding got me. I forgot about that wedding.
Oh, man.
I'll come back to you two and that chemistry. I mean, the chemistry is so good that people forget. I mean, it's real life or real life that way. I mean, you are so despicable to a lot of people. I just want to know your thoughts in terms of how much of a creative thought process that you yourself had in bringing those two characters to life together, what all were from a backroom creative things that were coming in, your input, so to speak. How much of you is in that character development part of it, and how much is others influence coming in? Both of you.
I feel like we've gotten the opportunity to influence a lot of what we do. I feel like I knew that I wanted to be the exact opposite of Rhea. I wanted it to feel the exact opposite. So I feel like I just kind of went into it thinking that way. Like, instead of emasculating Dominik, I'm going to make Dominik feel like the man that he is. And so he's just really respectful, and he's so easy to work with, and he makes everything that we do so easy.
And for you?
I mean, yeah, you know, same. She makes life easy for me. It's fun to come to work, and it's like, you know, I don't get why people hate us. Like, I feel like we're.
They hate us because they ain't us.
They hate us because they ain't us, dude. Honestly, no, it's been a lot of fun. I feel like we have a lot of creative liberty as far as like in our characters, especially with just what we do now. It's in the Judgment Day. There's like so many moving parts that like, if it works, you know. And I feel like that's what's happening with all of the Judgment Day. It's working.
It's working, and it's an input from everybody, so to speak.
Yeah, I think we work better than anyone thought we'd be.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. You did mention about Rhea, and past year, 2024, probably the rivalry, kind of the best rivalry was with you and Rhea. From a performer standpoint, what's so special in terms of working with her? Because Dom, I remember when I talked to you, you did talk about Rhea, even though she's also young, like you guys. You did talk about the kind of influence she has and the way she talks about the business. But for you, again, from a performer standpoint, the specialty of somebody like Rhea, working with her and making that storyline or that character really work.
Yeah, you know, I've spent a lot of time with Rhea during NXT. I don't know if you know this, but when I got called up, I actually gave Rhea my locker. I was like, "Here, my young, you can have my locker," because she didn't even have a locker, because that's how. But I did always know that Rhea was going to be a star. I just always knew. I just saw it in her. I knew that she was going to be a star, and I'm so smart, and I was right. But I feel like I wanted to prove that you don't need to put all your eggs in Rhea's basket. Like, you can put some eggs in my basket. And so the Liv Morgan Revenge Tour was pretty much me proving I'm just as much of a star as Rhea. And if you don't believe me, watch me. And I feel like I've solidified that, and I proved everyone who thought differently wrong.
Great. Dom, for you, when was the point wherein, as I mentioned, there was a time when I spoke to you, you were already a heel. Then you became a mega heel, whatever. I mean, a heel turn on a heel turn kind of thing. What was that moment for you when you thought, this has really clicked and I'm going to run with it? What was that moment for you?
Man, I don't know if there's a specific moment, because I just feel like I'm always constantly learning, especially just being out there. And, you know, everyone I'm in there with has more experience than I do. So, like, I'm always watching, I'm always studying, I'm always seeing what I can do differently. So I feel like there wasn't any specific moment. It's just the reps and the amount of time I was getting. I believe it was 2023. I was second to most matches in the company.
After Cody.
Right behind Cody.
Yeah.
So like that helped me a lot. Just getting more comfortable in the ring. Like I had over 100 matches. So like that's awesome. You know, I was able to go out and do what I can, and I feel like that's when I really got comfortable and people just started not liking me. They started seeing me more and they're like, get this guy out of here.
And also, I think you're probably the only superstar to main event in NXT, Raw, SmackDown a single week in itself.
He did that.
Yeah, only superstar in WWE history to ever main event. NXT, Raw, and SmackDown. Clock it.
Fantastic. The reps, earning the reps, so to speak.
Yeah.
Netflix India, WWE is coming to Netflix India. Netflix, when it came, when you guys debuted, it was in January, it was a game changer. How do you see it? I mean, what was the excitement? And from a fan's perspective, an Indian fan who's looking forward to watching WWE on Netflix India, what would be your message and what could they expect?
They could expect all the chaos and unpredictability of WWE, but more importantly, they can expect to see the hottest, most iconic, the most dominant duo in WWE history rule Monday Night Raw on Netflix. And I'm glad you guys get to enjoy that.
Yeah.
And does that mean we get to see more of you guys performing here, you and others, more shows, house shows and stuff?
We hope
more
so.
activities?
I
Yeah,
think
hopefully.
one of our premium live events here would be amazing, and I think that would be so cool to put on a show for you guys.
Great. One last final question to the cameras, to the Indian fans who would be watching this, a message for you guys about what WWE is, what you guys bring in, and with Netflix India coming in, just a message from both of you guys.
Do you want me to start it off?
Start off.
Well, honestly, I just think that the Judgment Day brings so much to the table because we have so much talent, and being on Netflix is just huge. The accessibility that you guys have to be able to watch the Judgment Day take over Monday Night Raw every single week. Not even Raw. I mean, we got the tag team champions over here, so like we can
We'll
go
be
on.
everywhere.
We can go on SmackDown. We can go over to NXT. So like it just depends. You can watch us anywhere at all times on Netflix, which is crazy.
Yeah, watch us. I think you said it all.
Fantastic. Great. Thank you.
Thank
you guys.
you.
Thank you for your time.